Okay, so I'm going to do a quick review, short-term review, 1-week review of these Carolina unlined 28 series, taller 8-inch boots. Mainly because when I was trying to do research on them, I couldn't find jack diddly squat on them, especially the unlined. There was plenty of promotional videos, but not really a lot of real use. So I'm slowly turning into a bit of a boot nerd, thanks to Rose Anvil, but at the same time, I've also got a budget. So I was trying to find the best of both worlds. I've been having a lot of problems with boots. I had some Irish setters that were square toe lace up, and they felt good at first, and they broke in all right, and then not too long after, man, my bunion, I have a little bit of a bunion on my right foot, and it started just killing me. So anyway, got some new boots. Went with the unlined version, and as you can see, I got form insoles in there. These are size 11 regular, so I'm normally I'm technically, my actual measurements would put me at a 10.5 wide, and I've had plenty of 10.5 wides that fit me great, but these unlined versions of this boot have a lot of room in there, and well, I'll stick. So these 11s fit me pretty good in the store, and as they break in and loosen up a little, I am having to cinch the laces down a little bit, but nothing crazy. And what I like is how wide that toe box is. My toes can splay freely. There's no constrictions or anything, and it's been a lifesaver thus far. It's not real tall heels on them either, so that helps. They have the stitching under the bottom. I've seen some people complain, yeah, it wears off and then what? But I think it's in addition to everything else, right? It's not in replacement of. So they have the stitching around there, and I don't know if it's Goodyear welt or stitched down, or I'm not quite on that level. I can just recognize it, but this is that cheap kind of plastic piece right here that I know is going to start breaking and chipping away. And this midsole is something, it feels maybe like a real hard rubber or something. I'm not real quite sure what it is, this kind of lighter brown piece. And then the Vibram sole is solid though, and I actually like that. I don't like a lot of these new boots, Red Wings, and a lot of these companies are doing this thing where it's actually just a giant layer of really crappy foam with a little bit of rubber stuck to the bottom of it, and that foam always just compresses and jacks up, and it always gives me problems. I've had 2 boots with that, and I refuse to do it again. So I like the solid, the solid bottom. So you can tell the toe's kind of high. So again, it's only a week. I saw some just written reviews that said, oh, they feel great right out of the box, no break-in period, which is complete hogwash. A week in, they're still not totally broken in. I guess I call it grease. I made my own concoction of beeswax, vegetable oil, and lanolin. Anybody wants it, it's 15 grams beeswax and 10 grams each of the lanolin and the vegetable oil, and it makes a pretty good waterproofing and conditioning agent. So I lathered these up real good in that, hit it with a heat gun, let it soak in as much as possible. It did come fairly well oiled, actually. I was not really I wasn't disappointed with how they showed up. There was a few minor things, particularly on the inside. There was some unfinished stitching, and it really is more like just lazy, like they kind of just did a bad job at, see that, when they finished it off. So I wish the counter down here was actually leather. This is some kind of I don't know what this is. I've never felt like this. It almost feels like industrial carpet, which is not super great on my heels. I might end up getting something for that, because even though I wear these super thick wool socks, it's still starting to hurt. I did not like the insoles that came with them. I thought they were crap. So I ended up putting these forms in here, which have been a lot better. Yeah, so there you go. Not bad, not great. They met the budget. I think my company gives us 220 or 200, yeah, $220. I think I ended up having to cover an extra 30 or something like that for them. Because for whatever reason, that company, when you special order, they charge you extra, which is stupid because they don't normally carry Carolinas. Yeah, so I am a little, one thing I did notice, it almost looks like there's separation going on along the edge right there. I can't quite tell. It might just be me. It might just be kind of lousy construction or grease stuff, but you see that? I don't know. Keep an eye on it and follow up, I guess, see what happens. The one thing that's been driving me up the freaking wall, though, is that they squeak. They squeak, and the squeak is coming from somewhere in here when I walk. And it's driving me freaking nuts. I hope it goes away. I'm about ready to just go freaking fill up a tub of gear oil or something and go stand in it and see if I can get it to go away, because I cannot. It's driving me nuts. I can't stand the sound or the way that it feels. I can feel it in my foot. It's loud enough to, you can feel it, which is, drives me nuts. But yeah, other than that, a couple of small things. I'm not super big on them being made in China, but you know, again, for the price, I think normal price is like $215 or something like that, or $218, or just slightly under $220. For the unlined version. I tried the lined version on. They only had the regular size, the 11D with the liner. And I was talking earlier about how much room my foot has in these ones. Same outside, but the inside, there's so much padding in there. It was like, it felt like it was completely compressing my foot. Like, I would have to order these, I think, in probably their 4E. And even then, I don't know. That's already coming off. Good grief. I don't know. I'm not super convinced, because it felt like this. It's super thick. I'm not super convinced that padding would not compress through wear and then eventually end up this just giant floppy clown shoe on my foot. So that's why I went with, that was the primary reason I went with the unlined version instead of the one with the scuba liner. Even though I do work around water, I'm an industrial mechanic for a very, very large water district. So I deal with water all the time, but I'd rather have boots that fit, that get a little bit wet every once in a while, and just keep them greased up, keep them oiled up, and they should repel 90% of it, unless this stuff starts splitting around. But everything seems, I mean, it's pretty thick. The leather's real thick. Everything was super, super stiff when I got it. I mean, it was like wearing ski boots or snowboard boots when I first put them on. So that's before I even bothered wearing them. I just soaked them in that concoction that I mentioned a minute ago. But yeah, that's them. Nothing crazy, nothing horrible, not the greatest boot in the world, but nothing horrible. They're fairly comfortable so far. Now that they're breaking in, yesterday and the day before were actually probably the two worst days of the break-in, which would have been about, I think, 7 days total of wearing them. And so yeah, I mean, it's moderate break-in period, I would say. It's nothing like I assume Knicks are. I've never owned a pair of Knicks or any of those Pacific Northwest brands, so I can't say, you know, but I hear that they're pretty rough breaking in, and these, I doubt they're on that level, but they certainly are not, as some people claim, super comfortable right out of the box. Unless you got some used ones, I guess, maybe. But yeah, so I'll follow up maybe in a month or two and see, you know, do a review a little bit longer term and see if see what's going on with those. See, this one doesn't have that gap. So, yeah, definitely concerning on the other one. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. All right, more to come. Thanks.